If you're a true crime fan, then I know you like shows like Killer Speaks and Evil Lives Here. You probably obsessively watch serial killer interviews until your spouse is already afraid that they might not wake up the next day. If that's you, then I wonder if you've ever heard of the infamous call from radio host Howard Stern that he got from a real-life serial killer. For those that don't know, Howard Stern is a radio personality mostly known for dark humor and off-putting questions he'd ask his guests about things that most people would like to keep private. He made a name for himself for being a completely uncensored, raw interviewer. On August 13, 1997, Howard Stern receives a weird call live on air from a man claiming to be a serial killer. Stern asked the man what he would like to be called, and he said Clay. For the next 20 minutes, Howard Stern would ask a series of off-putting questions trying to pry into the life of Clay and why he was a killer. He claimed to have killed 12 prostitutes in New Orleans. When asked what he did to his victims, he said he hit them with a hammer after using them for services. Howard instinctively asked Clay if he was abused, and he answered no, but then also said he was bored, so he killed. Stern would ask if Clay killed pets as a child, and he said no, but that his first kill happened when he was 16. He felt powerful. He liked watching the life leave his victims' bodies. It was a pure thrill for him. When Howard Stern asked certain questions, you could hear the aggravation arise in Clay's voice, almost to the point that he was annoyed. When asked why he called the show, he said he wanted notoriety. He said during his first couple kills, he wanted to send mysterious notes to newspapers, similar to that of the Zodiac in the 70s. Clay was upset when he killed and no one noticed. No one cared about the horrible crimes he did, and he felt even less than he did before. He felt he deserved the same broadcasting as people like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and when he didn't receive it, it kept him wanting to kill more. When asked about how many people he killed at one time, he said he killed one woman in New Orleans and then drove to Mississippi and killed another. The whole call was so creepy, and the fact that Clay was so nonchalant about his responses showed how little he actually cared about what he was doing. He didn't have any remorse. He just wanted to be noticed and be more famous than these crazed killers that have been over-documented throughout history. If you listen to the call, you almost wonder if it's faked, but things that Clay is saying seem so specific to an actual crime spree. I'll leave a link to the call in the description for anybody that wants to hear the actual account of what happened, but some of these responses are just super chilling. Howard Stern the next day received an urgent call from the FBI. They told him that they needed a copy of the conversation so that they could see if it matched an actual serial killer that they were looking for. There's no way that this call could really be tied to something real, right? Well, that's what they want you to think. During July of 1991 to April of 1996, 24 plus people were killed in New Orleans, Louisiana. This spree was being described as the work of the Storyville Slayer. The majority of the victims were African American women between the ages of 17 and 42. Most of the women were strangled to death, but a select few were actually beaten to death and dumped into swamps and canals. In 1991, a girl mostly known as Brenda got into a car with a man and was strangled and left for dead. Then, to get even worse, in August of 1991, another victim, Danielle Britton, was found covered in garbage and was determined to be beaten to death. Her last whereabouts were at a bar with a man not too far from where Brenda was found. November 3rd, Charlene Price was found in a park in New Orleans, only a mile from where Britton was found. November 21st, Regina Oko, who had been arrested for prostitution, was found strangled to death. Coincidences kept popping up between this killer and the one on Howard Stern's show. One man that frequently came up in the investigations of the Storyville Slayer was Russell Elwood. He was a drug addict, constantly known for beating and assaulting prostitutes. He was found at the murder scene of where Cheryl Lewis and Dolores Mack's bodies were found. He claimed to be working on his car when police showed up, but when they searched the car, he didn't have any parts or tools to be doing such things. Eventually, he was arrested for contempt of court for missing a speeding ticket appearance, and he was in jail for 120 days. During his time, he was officially booked for the murders of Lewis and Mack, and many believe he was responsible for more of the murders as well. The Storyville Slayer killings remain unsolved to this day. Many say that it was Russell Elwood who not only did it, but also called the Howard Stern show on that fateful day in 1997. All I know is the murders stopped once he was booked, and that's extremely suspicious. What do you guys think? Was it Howard Stern faking the call, or could it have really been Russell Elwood that called in? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe as we have a new video dropping every single week. Remember guys, live haunted.